We're finally back. Let me open up chat. Maintaining the streak.
I'm ready.
I already started the stream. We're here.
I noticed. Hello, everyone. I've been kidnapped for the past few hours. I will regale my tales later. This is not a.
You'd be surprised how uninteresting it is.
Hey, you shut up over here. You just mad.
I am.
Rightfully so.
Hey. When you told me the reason I had to wait 3 fucking hours to get this up.
Hey, she at least said hey to you.
I don't care.
It's in her regard.
I got a job to do.
It's just Nick.
I had people expecting 3 o'clock.
It's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock Pacific time.
Then Brayden's switching up on me. Switching up on the kinfolk.
I was not expecting this. All right. You have to respect my decision.
Let's look at the poll that we had last time. Brayden, didn't you remember that UT Arlington was 22 at the end of the last episode?
Are we gambling this stream? I don't see Corey here.
I don't know. He put spreads up for those games I posted.
Hey! I'm still here. All right, damn it. Respect me. Look, man, I didn't realize UTA was number 22. All right, you didn't put that in the last. You didn't put that in the top 25 thing. How am I supposed to know?
Sometimes I'd be forgetting to update that. Do we want to do Virginia and Georgia Tech? That's like the first game that we go over, so we'd have to be waiting unless we do a quick bet.
Well, I see no one in stream. I think I killed the DCAA, bro.
I knew this day would come.
I just didn't think it would come from me.
If you want to get that bet up for Virginia Georgia Tech, probably make it like a 3-minute bet. I ain't trying to sit here for 5 minutes.
So how's y'all's day been? How your day been, Shane?
I played a little Zomboid in the morning. Then I finished up the slides. And then you had your thing. So I was like, oh yeah, I forgot to update the standings in the spreadsheet, so I did that. Because I was planning, if we were starting on time, I was just going to do the standings update like in the game.
Alright, okay. Let me go follow it. Where's Joni? That's the issue.
He's in his own world on whatever that game's called, the Hardwood Empire. Do I want to talk about it? Not really.
Boom, 2-minute bet.
They had their chance.
Ah, shit. I messed up. Number 6, Virginia. I thought I clicked 1. You know what, people? Y'all guys understand it.
My information is the correct one.
Not like anybody's gonna bet. Oh, we're at 8 viewers now. God is good. God is good. God is good all the time.
Put some money on Virginia's 4.5-point favorites over the Yellow Jackets. Once that bet ends, we're gonna get right into it because I don't feel like waiting. What's the second bet we want to run? Let me see.
The people bet on this one, it will dictate. Arkansas, Tennessee, Florida's good.
Should we do
Ooh,
UT
Vanderbilt,
and
Mississippi State.
EKU?
No, I was gonna say Vandy, Mississippi State.
Yeah, we could do that. Mississippi State 3.5-point favorites. All right, we'll do that.
It's just gonna be Corey betting by himself. I ain't picking Georgia Tech. Fuck that shit.
Put some money. Put 10 points on Georgia Tech. I would bet,
I'll be
but
nice.
Unfortunately,
I can bet. I'm the better. I don't get high off my own supply.
Cooked bets. Damn, 6 o'clock on a Saturday, not popping, huh? I'll have to take this into account next time I do a stream at this time of day. Alright, we close that. Alright. Oh, someone actually put money on it. Nick is a savior. He did it. He did it. He did it for the hood. All right, to my 2 viewers who are actually talking, and Braden. Are we ready to get into this? I just like realized Virginia Tech's in the top 10 again. Just like it rose up really quickly. Anyways, to find out who won that bet, it's our first game. The winner is the Virginia Cavaliers. DeMarcus Saunders is a goddamn demon. They didn't have anything. The Yellow Jackets didn't have anything for Virginia's depth. They just got smothered. Virginia covers that spread easily. What does Braden feel about Virginia? I'm pretty sure they're a 90 overall team now.
I told you, I'm scared of them. I'm scared.
Who do you think is going to beat them in the tournament?
They're winning it all.
Georgia Tech finally takes their first L. At home, unfortunately. Home fans got to sit down and watch that. Tragic scenes in Atlanta. But we move on. I hope Heel isn't here to see this, because he'd be very disappointed. Losing to NC State. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Elijah Bolden and with a double-double, and Justin Towns had a really good game.
This is a bad loss.
A little bit, yeah. You gotta maintain the narratives with NC State. They failed. George Thomas had a good game, but rest of the team was pretty pedestrian. God's Conference. All right, next game. Staying in the ACC once again. Hey, Boston College feature for the second time this season. They get a win at home against ranked Syracuse. Cody Howard, senior guard for them, has kind of been balling in both of those wins. had a double-double this game with 6 rebounds and 3 steals. Nash Smith had 17 and 6. Arnold Barnes had 14, 6 and 3 for the Orange. But they drop a game they probably shouldn't have. BC just being a thorn in the side of the teams that actually matter in this conference. I don't know when's the last time BC basketball was really like anything. I have no idea when's the last time they even made the NCAA tournament, IRL. Haven't made it in this sim. Next game. Levi requested 2 recaps for his Akron Zips. This is the first one. They are still chugging along in the MAC. A close one this time, thanks to Charles Kirk. The Oregon transfer is now at CMU. He had 17 points in this game. But Bubba Van Claiborne, double-double for him, plus 2 blocks. Randy had 11 points, 4 boards, and 3 steals as well. First time Akron's really been like actually pushed in a game in a while. All the games we've covered, they've been winning by like 30. We are Charles Kirk. We carry the flame. Fire up chips. Do you have anything to say, Braden?
I can't take the day seriously. I just hear Charles Kirk, and I can't take things serious today, Shane. All right.
You're just gonna sit
Today's
there
not
and,
real.
like laughing under your breath.
I am. Wait, can you hear me?
Yes,
still?
I can.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Today I can't take things seriously. I just hear Charles Kirk, just like we are Charles Kirk. Like literally, Nick's not a real person. But good for Akron. If they had no losses, they'd probably be top 25. They're a damn good program and team. I'm a big fan of the brothers.
I assumed the glow up was going to happen next year, but it's all these guys are freshmen and they're already cooking this conference. Crazy what S potentials can do. Next game. If Chance was here, he'd be able to see his beloved Texas A&M Aggies get a ranked win here over Alabama. William Mason, the senior, 18 and 7 for him. Dylan Johnson with a double-double. Thomas Zelenko had 17 points for the Tide. Alabama was hot last stream. They've cooled off this stream, looks like. 2 middling SEC teams. They'll probably both make the tournament. Chances are going to get drunk or whatever. I don't even remember. He like posted a picture of a bunch of alcohol. He drank it and then went out for a drive. Next game. Florida and Mississippi State. The Bulldogs kind of get cooked in this one. Charlie Ostling was everywhere for the Gators. Had 25 points, 7 boards, 5 assists. Severis Vidichenko hasn't been a big scorer, and it never really has been, but his defense has been big time. He had 7 stocks in this game. Patrick Payton, 10 points. He had an okay game, but the entire Bulldogs team was not on their best performance for this one. Number 2 team in the nation goes down. Honestly, they're a little overranked if you ask me. Maybe this will get that in a more believable place. Next, Gonzaga just got back in the top 25, but they're probably going to drop out with this loss. Losing to Utah State in the Big 2030. If you want to point to one reason why they lost, Roy Atlantis was not efficient. It's good everywhere else. He had 8 boards, 9 assists, but 4 for 18 shooting, not good enough. Oscar Kaminsky had 21. Wilson Welch also had 21. Aggies win by 15 at home. Next game, we're going back to the SEC, and A&M does it again. It wasn't just one I know Brandon might be
Why?
feeling a certain type of way. Vanderbilt losing a
A&M,
game like this.
A&M of all teams beating Vandy, bro. Ted Moore over here. You'd be disgusted.
Des Moore was here. God rest his soul.
And he's probably overseas right now, so.
Aggies legit. I mean, legit probably not, but I mean they're an okay team. Couple good wins for them though. I'll tell you that. William Mason, again, he had a good game. Ronan Cortez starred in this one. He had 6 assists. Isaiah Longford, only 11 points, but no one on Vandy had a particularly good game. Kind of a rough one for them. I don't know what the hell Yoni's talking about, but he's in the stream.
I'm just glad he's here, so.
Next game. Florida, staying on the warpath.
We appreciate you, Yoni.
Another road win for them.
Is Florida like, are we going to say national title contenders or how we feel?
I think so. I was wondering how they'd look without Chad Hudson, but Edgerrin Warren and Charlie Osling seem to be picking up that slack pretty well. They're gaining some distance in the SEC, looks like. They beat Auburn by 10. Warren had 20 points in this game. Vidichenko doing his thing again, pitching a little bit on offense, providing 3 blocks. Louis Gauthier had 24 points for the Tigers. He had a really good game, but no one else on the team was able to step up enough to overcome this Florida machine that's looking like they might be on their way to winning the SEC regular season title once again. Next game, going to the Big Ten. Hey, Nick was asking for it. Washington is showing up again. They've been hiding in the shadows. For some reason, this team isn't ranked. 16-5, I feel like would be a good enough record to do that.
Well, I think they're about to be ranked.
Johnny Richardson had 19 points with 4 made threes. Tegan Edwards had 14 points, very efficient off the bench. Wanted to shout him out. Chance Price had 18 points, 6 boards, and 2 blocks for the Badgers, but Wisconsin gets got over in Seattle, their second loss in Big Ten. Still very impressed by that team. The narrative with them this year is that their overall rating isn't particularly high, but their system there under Coach Reinhold seems to be doing work.
I was going to say Washington and Wisconsin. I don't know. In years past, I feel like Wisconsin, this is one of the better teams. They're 17-4. They're not bad. Now, Washington, on the other hand, it surprised me after last year. Like, I feel like this is the best team that they've had record-wise, but it's not the best team that they've had talent-wise. Does that make sense?
That's very true. Their team last year was superior to this one. That is true.
That's what I'm saying. There's so much of superiority between them. It's just like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know.
Game's weird sometimes. Next game, staying in the Big Ten. I don't know what the Oregon Ducks are doing in the non-conference, but they're doing pretty okay here in the conference slate. Probably mostly thanks to Akihito Suzuki. Kind of like, this dude's kind of he's broken out. Dude was dominant in this game. Kind of he stuffed the Spartans in a locker here. 20 points, 11 boards, 5 assists, 3 blocks. Kamari Rogers pitching in with another 20 of his own. Hank Williams, name you don't hear very often for the Spartans, but he had 19 points. Yeah, and Ronnie Bishop, they don't got him either. They're 2 best players on the shelf. Honestly, kind of impressed they're even doing this well. I thought they'd kind of be in hell for a bit. Charles Kirk would have had the Ducks at 21-0. We can only speculate upon that. Suzuki looks like a hooper, though. 20-point win for the Ducks. If only their overall record wasn't so ugly looking. Next game. Going to the Big 12, where the midness of BYU continues to prove itself out as they lose the Cougar off to Houston. I mean, out of context, a Cougar off sounds crazy. If you know, you know. Houston, again, I was a little concerned with their non-con, but yet again, strong team in conference. They just seem to win these games. Ben Carrasco led the team in points with 16 points. Had 5 boards and 5 assists as well. Kareem Zobel, not a great game shooting the ball, but he pitched in with 7 boards and 5 assists of his own. Houston wins a slugfest on the road at BYU. Oh, Heel, you don't want to know what you missed. There was something really bad.
Don't go back in the stream. Just don't ask.
Hey, all I'm going to say is ignorance is bliss. Anyways, moving on. Staying in the Big 12, Utah, they're on a hot streak, but it comes to an end. Oklahoma State pulling these unlikely ass upsets. Because this team ain't going anywhere. 4-7, yikes. Muhammad Ortega with 17 points, 9 assists, and Leandro Reyes had 5 blocks for him. So.
Oh, you know what's funny? Okie State gives me Texas Tech vibes from a few years ago. Terrible team record-wise, but they are winning games that they should not. Like overranked opponents.
That's true.
I said those are just the vibes I've been given. So carry on with that information.
Hopefully this doesn't derail Utah. I've been enjoying their team this year. But if they can keep like a top 4 seed in the Big 12, I think they're sitting pretty come tournament time. Next game. Back to the ACC. Virginia might have won more than the first game. Georgia Tech is now 2 L's in a row.
Ignorance is bliss, Shane. That's all I gotta say, Shane. Ignorance is bliss. David came at the right time.
UNC picks up a win at home. George Thomas, honestly been their best player this year. He's been the guy I've been seeing the most of. Double-double for him and 2 blocks. Travion Teague, 14 points of his own. Shaquille Sturgis had a good game, but not enough balance from Georgia Tech to get this win over UNC. They've dropped their 2nd in a row. This one much closer, thankfully. Big win for UNC, though, trying to catch up in the standings. Moving on. They're a wagon, Braden. They are a wagon.
Help is on the way. No, it's not. Nothing can stop this wagon. They scare me, bro.
Hokies, their win streak comes to a grinding halt here. Charlottesville is not kind to them.
No one's beating them, Shane.
People were saying that last year.
No one's beating them twice.
Anyambo has been stepping in. He was the replacement on the starting lineup because Jalen Reeves has been out for a bit. He balled out in this game. I mean, we call him a replacement, but he was one of the best players on the team that won the Natty for them in year 2. Still here. 23 points, made 4 threes. DeMarcus Saunders is just this dude is so good. If you guys remember him, he won 6th Man of the Year back-to-back seasons, and now he's a starter, and it's just as good, just as good as you imagined. Double-double for him, plus 5 boards. Matty Haitala had 22 points, including 5 made threes, but not even close to being enough. Virginia looks like an absolute wagon. Do they go undefeated in the regular season again? At this point, probably. ACC's got nothing for them right now. And then what I wanted to shout out this game was a battle for the top seed in the American Conference and the Charlotte 49ers. This team is not all that impressive overall-wise, but man, this team just scores. They win. They seize first place away from Tulane. 14-2 in conference. Blake Davidson, inefficient game, but he ended up with 19 points to lead all scorers. Tomo Datachi, transfer from Oregon State, had a double-double, including 16 boards. He was everywhere on the glass. Warren Beatty had 17 points for the Green Wave. Thoughts on this one, Braden?
Well, I always keep telling you who's going to save, the 49ers, because I said in your last, one of your OG series, the 49ers are gone, bro. So I want someone to just invest in them.
Pretty sure they won back-to-back natties, right?
They did. They're actually one of the most dominant teams in your history. I think didn't Rhode Island win a championship?
Yeah, they did. They lost to Charlotte in the title game, but they got back the year after and won it all.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of all the champions you've had. CCSU, of course, I can never forget that one. Charlotte twice, and then 49ers. Is there anyone else from your history with doing Sims to win a natty?
I don't think so. Well, Rhode Island had that one. I know St. Louis won that one at the beginning.
Okay, so St. Louis does have one, I know FDU never had one.
I just look at this Charlotte team. I'm like, they shouldn't be this good, but they are. 18-2. Very impressed with the job that's been done over there this year. But anyway, that is our last game of the first week. Here's the top 25. What do we see? How do we feel about this?
Kansas State goes up. Hawaii's back. The mid-majors are back. St. Mary's. Providence is officially a top 10 team in the nation.
Special. Houston moving up to 17.
Man, it's kind of fair with North Carolina. They don't really get punished.
Virginia Tech got punished a bit. I don't even know why they were in the top 10, to be honest with you. Georgia Tech drops from 3 to 9 after their rough week. New Mexico State's up to 15.
When New Mexico State's a top 10 team in the nation.
Kansas vaults all the way up to 7. San Diego State's back in the top 10. Maryland scoots up to 2. Florida up to 3. How do you feel about UTA staying put at 22?
They hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah, I'm being honest. Alabama's only here because they have some pretty good wins. Them and BYU, I'm so unimpressed by them. Mostly BYU. Alabama actually has won some good games. I'm not gonna be a super hater on them. Anyways, moving on. Next week, ranked matchup between the Hokies and the Tar Heels. Virginia Tech. Back in the win column, they needed this one pretty bad. Win a close one over the Tar Heels. Cassius Pritchett, star freshman, had a double-double with 3 assists. Matty Haitala, not a great game for him by his standards anyway, but 11 and 5 pitched in. Travion Teague, kind of coming on strong for the Tar Heels recently. Had 17 in this losing effort. I forgot to change it from Notre Dame again. I just noticed that. Why do I keep forgetting to do that? I just see the NO and I'm like, yeah, that's right.
On to the next slide. Shane just selling.
I had their name right when they won, but when they lose, they don't get to go by their proper name. Staying in the ACC, Georgia Tech losing again. That is 3 straight L's. The Virginia loss has them shook. Syracuse gets them this time.
That's just happened to before. I feel like there's been one team that's in. They were dominant. They were ranked, and then they just played a giant. They lost like 3 straight. I feel like we had one of that
from a past season.
Am I tripping? Is that? It could be West Virginia, maybe.
Maybe.
Losing to the top team.
I know. UCF. Spiral. As soon as they lost their first game, they fell the fuck off.
Oh, definitely that wasn't new. But
Micah
nice to see
Dutton,
Syracuse.
21 for him. Jacob Shelley had 19. Shaquille Sturgis, he's been playing good, but the rest of the team, not so much. Georgia Tech losing their 3rd in a row. They got to get off this losing streak in a hurry. Good win for the Orange, though. They're just... I love how Alabama's ranked over Syracuse. It's funny to me. Next game. Houston. Getting a home win over Kansas. Another low-scoring one that they grinded out. Kareem Zobel, 14 and 6. Antonio Ziegler had a double-double. Agop Kaksian had a double-double as well. But outside of him, Jayhawks really weren't able to get too much offense going. And Houston grinds out another tough win. Houston, man, they're just solid. I don't know. They're just, again, they're not a roster that really just jumps out at you on paper, but they just win, and I can respect that. They improved to 10-2 in conference, move ahead of Kansas in the Big 12 standings. More importantly, looking good for the Cougars right now. Moving on, staying in the Big 12, BYU loses again, despite a good performance from Tyler Green. He had a double-double. Texas Tech.
When is Texas Tech going to finally get that start? I know Lothar is good, but they need a top dude. Because I'm tired of seeing 11-11, 6-6, like just a perfectly mid team.
They're gonna need to replace Walker Lannon. He's gonna be gone. Yeah, they're gonna need another. They're gonna need another scorer. Take the reins next year. Hopefully lift them to new heights. I feel like they're close. Going to the Big Ten. I forgot to update Michigan State's record there. They're like 17-5, I believe. 8-4 in Big Ten. But Maryland kind of whoops up on them. Not super surprised by that. MSU's very short-handed. Levante Hawkins went off. Damani Adams had a great game as well. Yeah, the correct record for Michigan State here is 17-5, 8-4. Tech needs that replacement. MSU, the struggles might finally be here. Hawkins, though, what a game from him. Not too far away from a triple-double. How seriously do we take the Terps? Do you take them serious, Braden?
I do.
I know we've like collectively viewed them as like sort of like a second tier team so far in this sim, but they're 21-1.
Like they're a respectable team. Like what are we gonna do? Hate them? Like no.
Do we see Final Four upside with them this year? Anyone bold enough to do that?
I would say Sweet 16, Elite 8 at its most.
The number 2 team in the nation? Damn.
I see another. I don't know. Maybe I'm still filling them out. They still got a whole another month to prove to me.
All right, next game.
I've seen enough teams in my time here.
Wisconsin, man, the West Coast trip is not going well. Yikes. Second straight loss for the Badgers, and man, they got smoked in this one by USC. Team that ain't been relevant since year one. Odafe Wowiwode with 24 points. Senior, he was actually on the year one team as a freshman. He's stuck it out here for the full 4 years. Team is finally back to not being total ass, thankfully. Mason Mucker had 16 as well. Wisconsin hitting a rough patch right now. Losing ground to Maryland in the standings right now. Chance Price had a double-double, but outside of that, nothing much to praise, honestly. Going back to the SEC. Vandy losing again. I forgot their ranking number, but they lost to Arkansas. Vandy was still number 5, I believe, but probably not for long. Second straight loss for them. Jesus Santos was the star here for the Razorbacks. Some injuries to Russian and Carlini are both out of the lineup right now, but Santos steps in, goes absolutely nuts, double and 4 blocks. Jalen McCart had 10 points as well. Jimmy Ford at 16. Commodore is kind of in trouble. What does our resident Vanderbilt superfan think about this? Braden, that's you. You're the Vanderbilt superfan.
I thought you said Arkansas superfan. I thought I was tripping for a second. I thought you said man, Razorback. I don't know. I'm just disappointed, man. They had Jesus Christ on their team dropping 26 and 10. Like, bro, come on. Like, what are we doing? Am I really gonna have to invest in Vanderbilt? I thought y'all guys could do it yourself. I thought you could do it by yourself.
Two losses and they got you doubting. Damn.
Yeah. They're unranked now, Shane, right?
No, that was my bad. They're still number 5. Forgot to put their little rank thing.
Okay,
but they ain't gonna be number 5 for long. At this rate. Next game, staying in the SEC. Auburn. Are they? Is the team I was doubting most of this season finally starting to prove me right? They lose on the road at Missouri. I mean, Louis Gauthier is still playing well. He had another 20-point performance here, but Pascal Duchesne and Dalen Wright, they cooked them. Mizzou proves to 5-7, very mid team. I remember when they had Adam Brault in year 1. They made the tournament. Better days for them. Up next, Florida. They are still on a warpath. This team is dangerous. They get by Tennessee. Gave them a good game, however. But Edgerrin Warren, he's stepped up big time. Can we just pay attention to the block numbers for just a second? Warren and Vidichenko with 13 blocks between them. I mean, the fact Tennessee was still in this game, despite that, is kind of crazy.
It is crazy.
Quandre Freeman had 17 for the Vols. Florida, though, they got that. When Warren, Osling, and Vidichenko is a nasty trio for them right now. That could do some damage in March if they keep this level of play up. And now, I forgot to put UTA's little rank. They're 22, obviously.
Oh, that's how you know we're about to lose. Oh, never mind. Morgan Campbell, my son.
It was a close game. EKU was game for this one.
Zebley Patterson, double, 20, 10, and 2. Rutgers kind of got owned, Shane. In this
Hang
matchup.
the banner.
Morgan Campbell, 19, 9. Brother got to the free throw line a lot, 11 and 12. And Tyler Kincaid, 15, 7 and 5, 2 steals. Extreme will definitely have a lot more bets. I'm just not seeing enough chatter besides Yoni blowing up the chat.
It's true. But yeah, it was 21-0 for UTA. They get the season sweep over EKU for the 2nd year in a row.
Ever since the famous words were uttered, Shane. Hang the banner.
Sad to see
You
EKU.
think that's going to haunt them?
Sad to see EKU be reduced to this. But we move on.
They lost all funding.
Back to the SEC again. Hey, I remember Vanderbilt's rank this time. It's 3 L's in a row.
They ain't going to be ranked after this soon.
They lose to Mississippi State this time. Patrick Payton had a really good game for the Bulldogs, 19, 6, 7, and 2 blocks. Miles Pumphrey.
What did you say?
6, 7. Miles Pumphrey had 13, 7 boards, and 7 stocks. He was big on defense. Isaiah Longford had 18 and 5 for the Commodores. But man, they got to do some soul searching. 3 straight L's, not a good look. And such a great start to the season. Wonder how far they fall. Probably out of the top 10 at least, I would assume. Next game.
What do you know about 6-7?
Akron absolutely steamrolling this conference right now. Poor Ohio, they didn't stand a chance.
Is it just the rise of the mid-majors?
Desmond Beverly with 15 points to lead all scorers. Randy Van Claiborne, another good game for him. 11 points, 3 boards, 4 stocks. Bo Lepke had 14 and 8 for the Bobcats, but Zips didn't have a problem. They improved to 15 and 0 in the MAC. They are on a crazy win streak right now. I think Buffalo's their only real competition right now. But I mean, they kind of handled them in their first matchup, so I don't even know. I don't know. Akron runs this conference from the looks of it. Another game. This one was close. We almost had a pretty big upset here. New Mexico State didn't shoot all that well, but they clutched up when it mattered.
Damn, bro. Damn. Could have made my day. Get rid of those ops.
I think one loss is gonna get rid of them.
No, it's just I don't know. They scare me.
Yeah, Brian Wall didn't have a great scoring game, but pitched in on the stat sheet. 6 boards, 8 assists, 6 stocks. His all-around play probably made the difference here. Aggies survive, improved to 22 and 1. Back to the Big Ten. Oh man, I was singing Maryland's praises, but they kind of caught an actually elite performance from Akihito Suzuki.
See, this I told you. This is why I don't trust them.
I don't know. Look at what Suzuki did, though.
Hey, he was highlighted in the World Cup. He was a baller. Let's not forget. 29, 6, 7 stocks. That's a carry job. Now Tyree Murray, I'm not going to disrespect. He put up 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. You can't disrespect those type of numbers. But man, Suzuki was everywhere.
Yeah, that's honestly one of the great performances I can remember. Sheesh. If only Oregon's record wasn't so ugly looking. Like the 10 and 3 in Big Ten, that's really good. But we move on. Providence, they were flying high, but they were like Icarus. They got a little too close to the sun. They suffer their second Big East defeat at the hands of Marquette, who's also kind of short-handed. Not a pretty bad loss, honestly, for Providence. Didn't think they'd lose a game like this. It's not their day. Quentin Matthews at 23 and 6. Jamie Harris at 11 and 7, 3 steals. Vance Andelka had 15 points for the Friars, but upset loss for them. Only their 3rd loss of the season. They're still in first place in the Big East. But it was a special day for Marquette. When will the Big East finally get good? I know Lucas was able to rebuild it in his little sim he was doing. We'll get there eventually.
I'm disappointed, man.
Next game. It just keeps getting worse. Georgia Tech, no.
I thought you were going to say Vanderbilt for a second.
That is 4 L's.
When did they get knocked out of the top 25, Shane? When do you feel that?
Virginia won more than just that game. I'm starting to think. Tyree Dixon had a double-double for the Seminoles. Preston Spence had a really good game. 8 stocks for him, by the way. Excellent performance for him. Joe Carr at 13 for the Yellow Jackets. Man, what is going on with Georgia Tech? The Ramblin' Wreck is having problems.
Correct.
Yeah, they are a wreck right now. GT on that downfall, yeah, for real. Virginia fucked them up. All right, next game. I believe this is also our last one. Syracuse getting a pretty convincing win here over Virginia Tech at home. Jacob Shelley with 17 and 5. Arnold Barnes with 15, 5 and 2 blocks. Not a good game really anywhere for the Hokies. Matthew Peterson was the best stats-wise. 10 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals. Hokies, I continue to think they're just a little bit overranked. Not sure why. Syracuse surely going to get back in the top 25 after this week. Surely. Yeah, I was right. They're 22. That is our last game of the stream. And here is where we sit. With 1 month left in the regular season.
Number 19. They all called me crazy when I said this could be a top 15 team.
How do we feel about Kansas State on the rise?
A little bit year too late for me, Shane. I'm a little, you know me. I was a big fan of theirs last year. My top 25 predictions, and they failed me.
I will say I'm kind of surprised how much the polls are respecting San Diego State.
Number 6. So how many mid-majors we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 mid-majors.
Counting?
Providence is considered a major.
Yeah, they're a major conference, technically.
Yeah, so.
San Diego State, New Mexico State, UTA, St. Mary's, and Hawaii.
Oh, Providence don't count?
No, they're the Big East.
Huh. Why didn't I consider that big? You know what? Good for them. I don't know. Maybe I was just thinking Power 4 for football. It was a Power 5 for basketball.
Mississippi State back up to number 2. It's funny to me. Why would they be ahead of Florida? That's so silly.
I know Florida only has 2 L's versus the team with 3. No, yeah, 2 versus.
Houston still climbing up. They're up to 11. K-State just jumping them's kind of crazy. Alabama.
Michigan State is kind of surviving. That's what Michigan State's doing. They're surviving.
Oh yeah, also, Dylan Pettis has returned to the lineup for Michigan. So the Wolverines are, I mean, they were surviving too.
To be safe.
The Wolverines are probably going to be more game for big matchups from here on out. Hopefully they stay healthy the rest of the year.
Oh, he's going to be out all season early.
No, he was going to be out till February. We're here now, so he's finally back. I know MSU's injured players are going to be out till the conference tournaments. But this is where we're at. 50-minute show. How does Braden feel about UTA being number 19?
The banner was hung. We'll see in the conference championship game if they can make it.
How you feel about New Mexico State being number 12?
Scares me to death. Now, Shane, where do you have UTA ranked? Where do you have them seated at? Even when they were top 25, you said, 9.
I'm
telling you, they could reach as high as a 5 seed.
I'd probably have them as like a 7 right now.
7. So it's a good stream.
Yeah, that's all I got. We're gonna
I'll,
get the request stream up shortly. Get all that stuff going, and then we're gonna get to the last month of the sim. We're almost to the shit people really care about. Also, Hawaii still just chilling. Number 25.
Dave was so bold for that.
Yeah, that
Like,
was
he
a
has no
bold one.
respect.
I respect him because he's kind of calling that shit. They're very good this year. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this show. I'll be able to request stream in like, I don't know, 15, 30 minutes, something like that. Stay tuned for that. If you got any more stuff you want to put in stream requests, do that. I will see y'all soon. Bye bye.